Welcome back, Cancer. Thank you for joining me for your May 2020 ASMR Tarot Forecast. We'll be using the Heindel Tarot, which I bought when I was in New Orleans, making my way across country. This is a very comprehensive deck. It involves a lot of different systems. They tie in the 4 cardinal directions, and through that tie in a bunch of different cultures from all over the world, which is kind of cool. Additionally, there are the Hebrew letters that correspond to the paths on the Tree of Life on the major arcana. I have this fluorite crystal, which I love fluorite crystals because they have so many beautiful colors. This one has greens and purples, and then there's this band of opaque stone. I also have my smoky quartz. And I do have a pendulum just in case I need to clarify any yes or no answers, but I haven't had to use it yet. I'm going to do a 12 houses spread for May. Considering the circumstances, I feel like it's the best way to get a comprehensive outlook on what your life actually looks like right now. The Celtic Cross spread is, of course, very good, classic, but it has a lot to do with past, present, future events. And I feel like a 12 houses spread will give us a better idea of what to expect in May. I tend to kind of alternate between 12th house spread and the Celtic Cross spread, just because it's difficult with only a few cards to do a general reading. because all of you are going to be going through slightly different things. It's just how it is. There's, patterns of human behavior. But the nuance is hard to capture in a general reading. So I do encourage you to watch your moon and rising sign as well as your sun sign. Will help you get a better overall picture. You'll be able to put more pieces together. You can also get a private reading with me on my website, which is listed in the description below. But that's up to you. And I have to remember to show you the cards. Alright, let's fluff up your energy, Cancer. Do you like my shirt? I wore a shirt with a bunch of spicy boys on it for my Cancer reading. Although these are all desert spicy boys and Cancers are beach spicy boys. Alright. I am going to purify the space with a little bit of water. I don't use anything terribly fancy. I think water is very underrated. It's not moon water, it's not rainwater, but it is clean and it is potable. That's actually it shouldn't be as rare as it is. And I do have fancy stuff that I'll break out too, but I think it's a good time to stay hydrated. All right. So, in addition to the tarot deck, we'll be using Pixie's Astounding Lenormand. And Pixie was Pamela Coleman Smith, who illustrated the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And these Lenormand cards were collaged together from her works, both in the Smith-Waite Tarot deck and in a work that she did called The Golden Vanity. I like these cards because they're very small. And my little baby hands can handle them. Ooh. We have the bear. It's a powerful person. Could be a dangerously powerful person. I hope you guys don't hear my refrigerator running. He's training for a marathon. I'm very proud. All right, first house, house of beginnings, governed by Aries. We've got the King of Swords, represented by Ra. Could be about coming into your own as a great diplomat. Or a great warrior. Or it could be about carrying the sun through the sky. We have the Tower. Alright, so the Tower in Lenormand is about control. It's not about any kind of destruction or chaos. It's actually quite the opposite. So here we've got the King of Swords, we've got the Tower. What else do we have? The garden. Tend your garden. The garden is about all of the things you surround yourself with to elevate your vibrations, whether it's your friend group or your surroundings. If you move into, a nicer part of town so you don't get mugged on your way home, tending your garden. And the ring. This could be a marriage, this could be a business partnership. So that's beginning in May, possibly. I should start with the endings and work my way back, I think. Because you want to know what's ending at the beginning of the month and what's beginning at the ending of the month. Perhaps. Alright. Second house. House of possessions. Now, this card is called Science, but actually it's the Six of Swords. I'm not really sure where science comes from. The Six of Swords is a departure. I guess science could be a departure, in a way, a departure from magical thinking, although the further into science you get, the further it circles right back around on itself in that regard. But yeah, Six of Swords is usually about a departure, and here this is in the reverse. So it could be something that isn't going to happen quite yet in the month of May. We have a house, so that's a material possession. We have a snake that could speak to betrayal. And we have a gentleman. That could be you, or it could be that this betraying gentleman is trying to edge you out of house and home. We have the third house. Which is the house of Gemini. And the house of communication. It's an air sign house, and we do have an air sign card in that house, which is the Princess or Page of Swords. That could be an air sign you're involved with. It could be someone you're communicating with. You do have a lot of the Swords energy so far. You've got, and these cards are really well shuffled. It's not like I had all the swords bunched together in the deck. So the Page of Swords, Princess of Swords, is very much about this it's like the beginning of a thought, an artistic direction, but not a creative design. With the heart, maybe this is somebody that you're in love with. The dog is all about being faithful. And the sun. So I think the communication that you have with this person is very good. There's a lot of faithfulness between you. Fourth house. This is your home and family. And it's the Ten of Cups. Success. That's your house too, Cancer. I just wanted to let you know that there are only 36 cards in the Lenormand deck. So by the time I get to the end of this reading, I'm going to use up all the cards. Got the Anchor, so there's a good solid foundation there. The Crossroads, you do have a choice to make, however, because the Ten of Cups is also an ending. Even though it is success, things are cyclical and they keep moving forward. So you can't just rest on your success. You're going to have to move forward. That means you're going to have to make a choice. And the lilies are all about purity and innocence, and also a reminder that if you are falling prey to any of your vices during this time, that you should just keep them in check. It's very easy to do things out of boredom or lack of structure that you might not fall into habitually otherwise. The fifth house is the house of creativity, and it's ruled by Leo. And we do have the Six of Wands reversed, which is victory. So it's possible that this is something you'll have a creative victory, but it's not coming yet in May. It might be on the same kind of time frame as the Six of Swords. It could be unrelated. That's very interesting. We've had a lot of court cards. We did get cups in your house. We've got a couple of sixes on the table. Interesting. So the moon, that's all about artistic endeavors. With the tree, it would be something that you've been planting. You planted the seeds a long time ago and you've been nurturing it for quite a while. And then the cross, and that's about divine intervention coming to your aid, if you believe in that sort of thing. So, speaking of sixes, sixth house, this is the house that Virgo governs. It's about your daily life and your routines. And it is the High Priestess. Now, the reason that there's a camel on this card is because of the path Gimel, which crosses the void in the Tree of Life in Kabbalah. And so we're all kind of traversing that void right now. figuring out what our new routines look like, what our new normal is. But it's really not our new normal, because something else is going to happen soon. Things are uncertain, but you're prepared for that. That's what the High Priestess is saying. And we have the key, so you'll be able to access things you hadn't before. The scythe, it's a time to cut things out of your life that no longer serve you. And the stars. So by doing so, you're making room for good things to come in. Right, the 7th house is about your marriage, your legal dealings, anywhere that things should be balanced. It's ruled by Libra. And it is the Prince or Knight of Pentacles, Prince of Stones, Knight of Pentacles. And he's reversed. So maybe in your partnerships, you have been seen as spending your money in a hasty way, whether that is true or not. That might be a perception that people have of you. Only because it affects them. We've got the coffin, so there's an ending there. We have the child. There could be immaturity or naivete. And the clover. There's also luck here. Or maybe there's an innocent kind of luck after this ending. That could be it too. So the 8th house is death, sex, and other people's resources. And we have the Knight of Cups, the Prince of Cups, and that represents someone who kind of lets their emotions run the show. It could be you, or it could be someone else, but it might affect your access to other people's resources. We have the birds. A little bird told me one time, right? Birds are kind of advice, kind of like, it's not really gossip as much as like, you know, good advice. We've got clouds. It's trouble is ahead. And we've got clouds and the mountain, which is like a lot of trouble ahead. The mountain is about something that you will have to overcome. And the clouds already then meaning trouble. I think what this is really speaking to is that in order for you to maintain your position in other people's lives, you will have to overcome letting your emotions run the show. The 9th house is all about higher education, travel, anything that you do to elevate your vibration, tending your garden. And we have the 2 of Swords. Now, here it says peace, which I guess is okay, but the 2 of Swords is also about a choice. And it's a choice that you will have to make. We've got a lot of swords in this reading for a water sign. But because the card is upright, you're going to get to make that choice. You won't have it made for you. We have the fish, that's money coming in, or the potential for money coming in. We have the book. The book is about secrets. And the fox. Cunning, smarts, smart guy, see it. So there's hidden money to be had. You're just going to have to be clever and root it out. 10th house. House of Career, ruled by Capricorn. It's the 9 of Swords, and it's reversed. So this could be a period of time where you are really stressed out about your either having a job or not having a job. And it might not happen in May. It might be coming later in the year, or it might have already happened. Yeah, so we have news coming in. So maybe this is a situation that's ending, is that you've been stressed out about your job situation, and now you've got good news coming in. The mice is a card about people or your unhappiness or anything like that nibbling away at your resources. So how these little pesky little pals are devouring things on this table. They can't decimate the table, just the 3 or 4 of them, but they kind of nibble away at the edges and make it a lot less appetizing for the rest of us. And it's a warning about what you're surrounding yourself with. Make sure you're tending your garden. And then we have the stork. So it's good that the rider and the stork came in together, because this is actually some news. It'll be good news. But you just have to be careful that whatever the mice represents, whether it's jealous coworkers or acquaintances or your own self-esteem issues, whatever that is, whatever that represents for you, you just have to push it out of your mind. Especially because here we have the 9 of Swords in the reverse. I feel like the mice could be your inner turmoil and not necessarily people around you. And now we have the 11th house, which is ruled by Aquarius, and it's all about your psychic states and your psychological states. Anything going on up here? Interesting. Very interesting. Do you want to see it? It's the Emperor, which is a fire sign card. It's a very authoritarian energy, which is not a very water sign trait, but it could be. Depends on what your moon and rising signs are, right? Or your Mars. If you got a funky Mars placement, you could have water all over your chart. And all it takes is one funky Mars placement, and all of a sudden you're just so aggro. But I'm not saying that's what's going on here. The Emperor, yeah, you definitely want to be more authoritative. You want to be more respected. You want to be a powerful person. And maybe there will be news to that effect. The bouquet could be a token of affection, or it could be a gift. Or it could be this letter. Like, this could be a love letter that you're receiving. And it makes you feel more powerful and more authoritative. And then the final card for your reading, the 12th house, is the House of Endings. It's governed by Pisces. And that is courage. And it's upright, and it's the 7 of Wands. Now, in the Rider-Waite deck, a man is depicted defending a hilltop from 7 men with spears advancing upon him. It's like a almost insurmountable situation. But because the card is upright, it's certain you will prevail. We've got the ship here. It could be about a trip you're taking, but it could also be about success. We have the ship whip, which is discipline, and the lady. So, you will surely capture your true love's desire. Whether it's the same true love you had at the beginning of the month and at the end of the month, we have yet to see. Although some of the 6s were both reversed, so that might not be happening in May. But at the end of May, a lot of these things are going to be tied up. So the whip, I get that you're going to be more authoritarian toward the end of the month. The ship, you might be able to travel again. And then the 7 of Wands, you're really going to overcome some of these obstacles that we're seeing here. All right, Cancer. I really appreciate you joining me today for your May 2020 ASMR Tarot Forecast. I wanted to let you know that I will be doing mid-month readings starting in May, but I'm not going to be using cards. I'm going to be crystal scrying, so there will be lots of crystal tapping and lots of just free-form figuring it out in real time, right there in front of you. It's got the potential to go in a really cool direction. I do have some other videos planned. I got a really good recommendation from a viewer regarding some guided meditations. So I'm going to be working on that as well. I have that kind of in the works. I have an idea of what I want to do. But I really appreciate your ongoing support. Thank you for joining me for these readings. I hope you enjoy them. And we'll see you again very soon.